today we're going to be looking at the discipline of contemplation, or you might call it meditation. And we need to be a little bit careful with that word, so I'm going to be sure to define that for you a little bit later, because we don't want to confuse it with some kind of New Age, Eastern mystical kind of practice, so I'll define that for you later. Today, though, I'm also going to be touching a little bit on solitude, which is actually a different spiritual discipline. However, there are significant overlaps between these things, and so I'm going to be touching on that a little bit. So we're going to take a look at some Psalms. If you want to bring up Psalm 46 for me, that'd be great. We're going to look at two different portions of two different Psalms this morning. Psalm 46, 8 to 11 says this. Come, behold the works of the Lord. See what desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. Verse 10, be still and know that I'm God. In the midst of all of that, be still and know that I'm God. I am exalted among the nations. I'm exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Psalm 46, 8 to 11. This wonderful psalm, in its proper context, is actually a call to trust in God in the midst of invading armies, in the midst of people coming at you who are arrayed against you. Very comforting to Israel throughout the history at various times. If you're in church last Sunday, I mentioned to you Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther from the 1500s. And I painted a picture for you of the medieval church at the time of the Reformation, as I told you a story of a young, kind of poor family paying indulgences to the churchmen at the time for the sake of a loved one to be freed from purgatory. And I mentioned that this kind of practice is a little bit like the final straw that broke the camel's back for Martin Luther. And it sparked the activities that led to the Protestant Reformation that Luther was a key proponent and mover in. Well, if we follow that story on a little bit, sometime later the Roman Catholic Church convened at the city of Worms in Germany to talk about the Pope's condemnation of Luther's teachings. Out of that meeting, what came out of that, after how long they met, was the Edict of Worms. And the edict said that Martin Luther should be arrested and punished for the things that he's doing and saying against the church. Luther was eventually, a few years later, even threatened with execution. People were trying to find him and kill him, yet he went in hiding for some time. This was a very, very tumultuous time for Martin Luther. Imagine that. They didn't kill you in very nice ways back in those days.